Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Let me share the screen. Okay, so next topic is volumes and snapshots. Next, custom memories. Okay, so volumes are nothing but like drives. Like, for example, in your local machine. So, for example, we have 1000 GB hard disk is there. So, what we will do? So, we will allocate 200 GB for C drive, 300 GB for D drive, E drive, F drive. Like that, we were allocating it. So, in AWS perspective, they are going to call it as a volumes. Okay, so these volumes under the EC2, we are going to call it as a EBS volume. Okay, so EBS is nothing but elastic block storage. So these volumes are like for our understanding purpose, we can call it as a drives. How we are calling the C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, G drive, how many drives you want to do. So how you are doing the partition for the whole space, like whole space which are allocated for your system, how we are dividing the space. Same thing in AWS also for storage related concept for server level, not for entire thing, only for the particular server level. So how much space you want to allocate it? Either we can allocate via server creation. When you are creating a server itself, so we can define how many drives you require. Otherwise, we can create a custom volume, means we can create another volume and we can attach the volume to the server. So these are like a volumes are nothing but it's like a drives. So here we don't see the names like C, D, G, F. So something like it will have a something naming like this. Okay, for Linux machine it will be like this, and for Windows machine it's like this. Dev, STC, SDE, SDF, G, H, I, J, like that it will be there. Okay, so we should remember the concept like, so if you want to allocate extra space for your server, so we need to go with the EBS values. Okay, so the volume section where we are seeing it. So when you comes here, when you're launching the instance at the storage level, okay. So if you are taking a Linux machine, so the default space is 8 GB. So if you're taking for Windows machine, so the value will be 32 GB. Okay. So now if you want to add the volume, keep on adding the volumes like this. So how many drives you require, how much space is required, it is under user control. 200, 300, 400, 5,000. So as you are increasing the volume, okay, so you will getting the bill. Okay, so the company will specify, the team persons will specify how much volume required per server, how many drives you required, how many EBS volumes are required for it. Each EBS volume, how much size is required, they will specify it. Okay, so now we'll see. Now I'm going to launch one instance. Okay, so EBS volume example. Okay, so taking one Windows machine, you can easily understand the Windows machine. So now let me create it.
Sir, we will get a built-in volume also in some servers, no?
Which one? Built-in? Yeah, built-in is 8 GB. Free tier is we are getting 8 GB. For Windows, we are getting 30 GB. So this is a default one. For every system, we require OS installation, right? So manually, when you go for any computer system, they will install and give it for you. Either you will reboot the server, means you will insert the drive and we will install it. But in AWS perspective, everything is a predefined, everything is providing it. Only the storage perspective, how much extra storage you require, we can request AWS. So that concept we are discussing under the EBS, elastic block storage.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So defaultly for server, we have a, so this is your, while launching the server itself. So how many drives you require for the system is there. So defaultly, if you are not specifying anything for free tier eligibility, so 30 GB is allocated for you, 30 GB space. So if you want extra volumes, so we can take how many drives you wanted and each drive how much space is required. So we can create, by launching the server itself, we can specify it. Otherwise, what we will do, so we will create a separate volume, and that separate volume we can allocate to this server. Okay, so n number of volumes also we can create a separate volume and we can attach that value to the server. Okay, so first we'll see how to launch the server with normal AWS provided volume, and these volumes we are going to call it as elastic block storage. Okay, so one volume we can attach at a time one server only. Same volume we can't attach to the, suppose this server is available state, means just you have created the volume, means the volume is in available state, means it is not attached to any server, means the volume state is available state. So once you are able to attach this volume to the server, it may be a Windows server or Linux server, it may be any server is there. So once you attach the volume to the server, so the state of the volume will be comes into the in use, means only the single volume can attach to the single server at a time. Same volume. So if there is another server is there, we can't attach it because it's already attached. So if it is any another volume, it is in available state. So then this volume, so we have a states are there. So that is in use or available. Okay. So same thing. This is not used. This is available state because it has been not attached to any server. So when you create a new volume, so the state of the volume is available state. So this volume can be attached to any one of the server. Either you can attach this server or this server, any server. It depends upon you. But once you attach this volume to any one of the server, so the state of the volume will be changed from available to in use. Okay. So once you get in the in use state, we can't attach to the server. So same volume I want to attach to this server. What we need to do? So we need to again detach from this server. Again, this volume will become available state. Then we can attach this volume to the other side. Okay. So that is the reason only one volume we can attach to at a time, one server only we can attach it. So if we want to attach the same volume to another server, so we need to have the detached mode. Okay. So let us see the example so that you people can understand easily. Now EVS value example I have taken it. So if you take the here, so when it comes to the storage section, so we have a 30 GB is there. So for each volume, there is a volume ID is there. You can open the volume in the new tab. So or we can open in the new tab, or if you go for the volume sections here. Okay. So EBS, you see, elastic block store, if somebody is talking about means, so that completely deals with your volumes and snapshots. So either you from the left hand side, you have the volume is there. You can see volume ID. So whenever you are launching any system, Windows or Linux system, so what is the default volume which is creating it? Default volume which is creating by the server. Backend part, the volume will be created and each volume will have the unique volume ID and you can see the state of each. Volume state is in use and in which availability zone it has created 1B. Central 1B it has been created and the volume state is in use state. Okay, so already this was by launching itself for this server. I have defaultly when you go to the volume section, how many servers you launched it. For each server, the volume will be created. How much space? Default space is 30 GB. Okay, so like that. So if you go for the storage section, so the dev SCA one is called as the default drive called C drive for our Windows machine, current Windows machine. Okay, same thing if we launch for the Linux machine also. So 8 GB will be created and new volume called volume will be created again here, the volume section for the Linux machine also. Okay, So if you go to the launch instance, and if you go for Linux server. Okay, so now I'm taking Linux server, selecting some key pair, launch instance. Okay, so defaultly for Linux machine, the volume size is 8 GB. So if you go here, okay, if you go for EC dashes, running instances will take it. Refresh the page. Pending state. Just wait. Now we have launched 2 instances as per the diagram. So this is a Windows 1. And this is a Linux server have launched it. And the default GB for Linux is 8 GB. And for Windows, the default GB is 30 GB. Okay, so Windows 30 GB and Linux 8 GB is there. So if you come and check here for each server, if you refresh the page, you can see 2 volumes. Okay, so one is 8 GB system, another one is 30 GB. Okay, so you can see the to which volume, which instance has been attached. Also, we can see the instance details. You can see. Okay, so in use, whenever you see the volume start in use means, so for each thing, okay, so one volume has been created that has been attached to the Windows system. That is the default volume. Same thing for the Linux machine also. Whenever you are allocating 8 GB, so it is means it has also created one volume. That volume it is in the in use state. Okay, so now, so if you refresh the page, now we have a 2 servers are there. One is Linux server, another server. So if you want to see the what is the volume ID of this one, so click on the Linux server, go to the storage, come little below. So 33244 is our volume ID of Linux server. So it has allocated 8 GB. So for Linux machine, it is XVDA. Okay, so 3324, same volume ID it will have here, 8 GB. You can see our server name. Okay, in use is nothing but already the volume is attached to the server. So now what I want to do, I want to add extra volume to my server. Okay, so now what we need to do? So we need to go to the volume section. So first of all, we need to understand, right? So volume has been always specific to the availability zones. Volume will be not in, already we are in the region. So when it comes to the volume section, so if your server is there in the particular availability zone, so your volume should be also in that particular availability zone. So if you are creating, so let me show 2 examples so that you can understand. So now you see our Windows server like EBS volume example, you can see our Windows server in CA Central 1B. Both servers are in CA Central 1B is there. Now I'm going to create a custom volume. I'm going to the volume section. I'm clicking on the volume here. Okay, so here 3 availability zones are there. Now I'm choosing 1A availability zone. So size is 100 GB is there. I don't want to keep size is 100 GB. I will go with 2 GB. Create a volume. Okay, so now you see I have created a 20 GB volume. So now you can see the statuses. Available state means this is a custom volume I have created it. So this volume is a 20 GB volume. We can attach this volume to any server, Windows or Linux server. But here you need to see the scenario. So the volume state is available state means this volume just created it just now. Okay, so this is a Windows server. This is Linux server. Already this server has a volume 30 GB and for Linux server it has 8 GB. Now I have created a custom volume with 20 GB. This is currently in available state. Available state, but the region of this one is 1A. So you can see I have created a availability zone is 1A, but our servers is there in 1B. So this is also in 1B. So if you are creating a custom volume, so if the regions availability zones are not matching, we can't attach the volume to this particular any one of the server. We can't attach it. So if the volume is in same availability zone, then only we can attach it. Okay. So now for attaching this volume, already volume state is in available state, means this volume has been not attached to the any server. Okay. So now if you are attaching a new volume, so under we need to go to the same storage section. So we can see that second volume details we can see here. Okay. So currently we have only one volume is there. Now, if I want to make this is to attach to another server, just select this volume, which volume we want to attach it. So it is available state. Now trying to action is attach volume is there. Click on the attach volume. Now you can see the instances. No instances running or stopped instance in the CSL. So we can't attach the volume to the servers. We have Linux server and Windows server. Two servers are there. But whatever the custom volume I have created, I can't attach the volume to the server because whatever the volume you are creating, the volume should be in the same availability zone. Then only we can attach it. Okay. So that's the reason we can't attach it. Now we have to go to the cancel section. Okay. Now create a volume. Take 15 GB. My server is in 1B availability zone. We need to come here and check it. Our server is in which availability zone? 1B. So the volume should be created in 1B. Create a volume. Now you can see my 50 GB volume I have created in availability zone 1B. It's creating. So once the volume state become available, now you can go here. Okay. So wherever you want to attach it, either Linux server or Windows server, both are fine. So come here, click on actions, attach the volume. Now, if you see, our servers are coming. So because the volume is there in same availability zone, then only we can attach it. If the volume is created in different availability zone, so it will not connect the servers. So you can go to the Windows server, attach the volume. That's it. Now the volume state will be changed from available to in use. Means this volume is already using by some other server. That server name is Windows. Okay. Now you can come here and refresh the page. Check the volume. Go to the storage. Okay. Now you can see extra volume. This is not comes with your installation. Now I have created my custom volume and this volume I have attached to the server. Now let's log into the server whether these changes are reflecting or not. So click on the connect button and same thing we can show it here. So the same volume I want to attach to another Linux server. What we need to do? So we need to detach it first. Okay. Force detach is there. Just to use the detach keyword. Okay. So refresh the page. So once you detach, it will come available state should come. Let us wait. Okay. Now you can see our 15 GB which is there. Now it is comes into the available state. Okay. So this volume we don't require. Okay. Now 15 GB when you are removing detaching the volume. So now it will becomes again the available state. Now you can attach this volume to Linux server. Okay. So Linux machine also I can attach it. Just attach it. Okay. So now if you refresh the page, so whatever the custom volume is there. So now I have attached it to the Linux server. Okay. So SDF. So previously it is can come here Linux server. Go to the storage section. Let's see 15 GB. Okay, so like that, it may be any kind of a server operating system it is there. So it doesn't matter. So the volume and the custom volume should be in the same availability zone, then we can attach it. So if it is different availability zone, how to connect is also is possible. So how to connect it, I will show you. Okay, so this is it for EBS volumes. If you have a direct volume, we are creating it. So it should be the same thing. And one more thing is, so first of all, we need to check it whether is it in the available state or in use state. If it is available state only, we can attach to the server. So if you want to attach to another server means we need to detach it from the existing server, then we can attach to the other servers. Okay, so this is the way we can do it things. Okay, now what I can do, so for testing purpose, I'm going to detach this volume. These volumes which we are connecting is called as the EBS volumes, elastic block storage. And this we can attach any volume we can attach one server at a time. Multiple servers we can't attach the single volume. Okay, so that we need to remember the point. Now we can go here, actions, attach the volume. I can go and select the Windows. Okay, now come here, refresh the page, go to the running instances, select the volume, see the storage. We got the 15 GB. Okay, now let's connect to the server, RDP client, download the file, get the password, downloads, decrypt the password. Connect it. Yes.
Sir, up to how many volumes we can attach by default?
Default I told you that we need to go with the limitations. So when we see the EC2, right? So limits I told you that limits of EBS, AWS. Volume limits. Okay, if you go with the Linux, attaching more than 40 can cause boot failures. So we can go with. So in the same volume, maximum 5 to 6 volumes only will attach it, but we'll provide a more size, 500 GB, 1000 GB, like that we'll give it. Okay, so maximum we can give for the Linux machines 40 volume. If we're attaching more than 40 volumes, so it is cause boot failures. So we should go with less than 40 EBS volume. So for everything we have a limits are there. I told it right. So we will go with the EBS volumes limits per instance volume limits. Okay, there is a limit of only 40 volumes you can attach it for Linux, 26 and 16 for Windows. Okay, so you can see the volume list here. Party. Attaching more than 40 volumes can cause a boot failures. So this 40 volumes not only for the both Linux and Windows to take it, but maximum we can go with 40. Limits is 40. EBS volumes we can go with 26 or 16. Okay. So here we need to provide the maximum sizes for it, like for creating the volume itself. So here we are giving the 15 GB because we'll get the billing more. So, but in the real time scenario, they will go to 500 GB, 1000 GB, 2000 GB, like that we can go. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This server is not connected. Mhm. Let me launch one more. So let us wait for one more server. Okay, can anybody open their window like console Windows Linux or Windows machine? Can anybody launch? Let us see. Open your console and try to launch on Windows machine. Windows server. Click on connect. Update connection. Download. Get password. Okay. Maybe it will take time. Wait. Anybody launching Windows machine?
Yes, sir, I'm launching.
Wait for who's launching?
I am launching, sir.
Okay, okay. Just share your screen once. Once you're able to log into the Windows machine, please share your screen.
Okay, sir. Sir, I think there is a issue, sir. Still, it is showing in initializing state only status check.
Okay, let us wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Maximum it will take 2-3 minutes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me share the screen. So it's taking time to log in it. So if you see our EBS volume, so if you come here, so this is my public IP 35 183 40 45 71 and private IP is 170 31 9 226. Okay. So but when you see here, okay, so 35 183 71C 35 183 71 45 71 I have able to log into the server here. So once you go here, like any folder or anything, if you go, slow, very slow. Able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go to the folder. Very slow. Right, this looks slow. Oh, oh. think we have to upgrade it. Are you able to log in?
No, sir, it is very slow.
Why this much slow?
I able to log in, but it is very slow.
Very slow. Okay. We need to increase the RAM. We talk about that one. So we have increased to 16 GB RAM. So let us see how the system performance will. You have the time, guys, right? Okay, strategy to be done. So click on connect. Got it. Yes. Okay, so we have able to launch the one more Windows server. This time, we are not going with small 1 GB systems. We have gone with something big systems like 16 GB system. To see our examples, we are going with 2TX large. Okay, so now we quickly launched it. We are able to log in it. Okay, now you can able to see the entire details. Like you can see what is your instance ID, what is your private IP, what is your public IP, everything you can see. Now, if you go here under the folder structure, so this is completely remote system. You can see for Windows system, we have a 30 GB system. But so if you see our storage, 30 GB. Now what I want to do, so I will go to the volume section. I will go and add the custom volume. Like this 30 GB is not enough for my system. I want to add extra volumes like D drive, E drive, object. How many volumes you are going to attach it? Same volumes we can attach in the here manually. Everything it's a manual work, means manually through console only we can attach it. Okay, now we can go here. So go to the volume. Already we have certain volumes are there. So we will detach this volume. It's already in use. What we will take? So we will actions, force detach volume. Already we have created 15 GB. So that I want to do the force detach. Now I want to attach this 15 GB to actions. Let us wait for a few minutes. Once it is, now it's in the available state. Now go here, attach your volume. Okay, so our testing EBS is our server. Just attach the volume. Go to the instances, check your testing EBS server value, go to the storage. Now the extra volume we got. But when it comes to here, I'm refreshing the page. But still that 15 GB is not allocated here. What we need to do? See, refresh it. So for this server, we have a two EBS volumes are there. One is 30 GB, another one is 15 GB. But when I log into the server, I'm able to see only 30 GB. 15 GB is not coming. So to do this activity, in order to reflect this one, we need to perform some manual steps in the server. So go to here, type for the disk management. Here, disk and format protections. Okay. So once you click this one, disk options, you can see. So if you see 30 GB, so that is healthy state, it is already allocated, but this is unallocated. So wherever you are seeing unallocated, so click this here, make it as online first. Then we need to initialize the disk. Okay. Then we need to perform new simple volume. Click next, 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 finish. That's it. How we are seeing the healthy state? Same thing, we can see the healthy state. Now we can see 15 GB is allocated. Okay. So same thing, if you want to allocate one more GB, so we need to come to the volume section here. So go to the volume. So create a volume. Now this time my volume have added 50 GB. So always should be our server is in where in which availability zone, 1B availability zone. You need to come to the same server, we can create it. Now the volume has been created. So come here, refresh the page. So what are the 50 GB is there? So that is in available state. So no one has been used it. So now what we need to do? So I want to attach this volume to again to the my test EBS server. Attach it. Once it attaches, so we can refresh the server. Come here, click on the storage. You can see the 50 GB is allocated. But when it comes to the server, when you refresh it, we don't get that 50 GB. So just here, again, it will come, say, refresh it, or you can close it. Come here, search for the disk. Create and format disk hard partitions there. Just click that one. So if you come a little bit down, roll down, you can see 15 GB is allocated. First step is wherever you see the disk to, this is offline is there. Right click here, make it is online. So it is not initialized. We need to initialize. Again, right click here, initialize. Okay. Again, it is unallocated. So just right click, new simple volume, next, 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 finish. Now two volumes are got it, 50 GB, like that. So like that, we need to go with multiple things like how much volumes you required. You can add it. Now this volume I don't require. This volume I want to attach to the other server. This is the failure server. So something data I have written here, some data you have created like volume, anything, file or anything, folder or anything, you are creating it. Okay, so whatever the data writing in this E volume, that is 50 GB. So this volume, it's like a play around anything, like we can remove it, we can inject to the other server also. Okay, so now this volume, what we are going to do it. So this 50 GB, I want to remove it. Just to come here, go to the volume section, 15 GB is there. So I can actions, what's the detach volume? Okay, do it. Detach it. Okay, so once you detach it, so it will become available state, comes to the server, automatically it will be removed. 50 GB. Okay, so now it is in the available state. Now we can attach this volume to the any other server. The data which are there in the D volume, it is the 50 GB volume, it will be the data will be there. We can attach this volume to the other server itself. Okay, so entire storage, we can detach it and we can attach it. We can create n number of volumes, but we will go with high volumes in the real-time scenarios. But only for testing purpose, I am going with less volume. Okay, 15 GB, 20 GB. So guys, understand about the EBS volumes. Availability zones, based upon the availability zones, and we can attach it. So two states are there available at use. Okay, got it? Understood? EBS volumes, any doubts, any questions? So try to go with high volume, like high instance type to go it. So then you can understand the example clearly. Same thing we can also do with the Linux servers also. So Linux server I will do in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so now just I want to give something information about. So what is meant by snapshots? Snapshots are nothing but backup of your volumes. I want to take the backup. So somebody, if you are deleting this EBS volume, now this 50 GB I have created for project related, for my system I have created it. Now, if you delete the server, the volume will be reset here only. But if you are manually deleting the volume, whatever the data I have written in this volume will go out. So in that cases, what we can do, so we can go with snapshots. Snapshots are nothing but taking the backup of your volume actions. So we will go to the volumes, select the volume, which volume you want to take the snapshot. So create a snapshot. That's it. Click the snapshot. Go to the snapshots. Snapshot ID is created. The size is this one, 50 GB data. So we are creating the snapshots. Okay. So in order to take the backup of your volume, so we'll go with snapshots. Okay. So tomorrow we will see some more concepts. Okay. Any doubts? Any questions, guys?
Sir, sir tomorrow.
Same timings.
Okay.
Okay.
These people, management team will conduct the meeting or no?
No, they will share the link. Already I spoke with them. They told that they will share, say, or they will open the link, just join the link. Okay, sir. Today and tomorrow they will be there, and again Monday also will continue the classes. Okay. So till the AWS class is completed, we will continue the classes. Okay. Sure, sir. Okay. Thank you, guys. So no doubt, right? So while server launching itself, for testing purpose, go with high instance type, right? Because if you are going with 1 GB or 2 GB RAMs, so the system is very slow. If you go with high instance type, like 8 GB system, try with 8 GB system, you will understand the, try to set the CBS volumes example. Okay. Okay, bye.